Hello and welcome into the Starters Podcast. I'm Dave. That is George, and that's Simon. How's it going, boys?
What's going on, Dave?
Making it rain, Dave.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know what else is beautiful is the Habs start to the season. Very hard to complain about the start to the season. Absolutely fantastic all around. I mean, it's very hard to nitpick at any real problems inside this Montreal Canadiens organization. It's as good a start as anybody probably could have imagined for the Montreal Canadiens. And basically, let us try to nitpick a little bit. My first question, basically, guys, actually is not much of a nitpick, but with the emergence of like Kirby Dach, we've seen him kind of come out a little bit the past few games. He's playing pretty well. We see
Sienna.
We've seen Kapanen playing well as well. So I just want to know, basically, your thoughts. Are the Habs still in pressing need of a center?
I'm doing my podcast. Dave, you hear that?
I hear it. I love it.
My daughter making a shake at 9:42 in the evening. Doing my podcast, dog. That's all right. All right.
What kind of shake is it? Is the real
Be a professional, man. Be a professional.
They don't care. They don't care.
I get it. Yeah.
Look. I think Kapanen is leading rookies in goals, right? So I think you're quite pleased with this. Now, does that continue? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Kirby Dach playing us. I don't think we've ever seen him play better as a Hab. I think he's a lot better in his own end of the rink. I think he needs to clean that up. The only thing I can say I think you should always upgrade your team. I think the Florida Panthers did that in the offseason by re-signing Bennett, re-signing Marchand, re-signing Ekblad. They took their steps to what they believe is the right way for them to be competitive. Again, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to did what they had to do to come back and repeat. The LA Dodgers, are going to do what they have to do. I think once you get to the top, you still want to get better. So the Canadians are nowhere near that top. So why not try to continue where I think it's just a glaring need? I think your top six, and if you were to move Dach or somebody else and move him around into your bottom six, I think your top four is very good. Could goaltending be better? Yes. I just don't know how easy it is in today's National Hockey League to go out there and get a lot better at goaltending without spending a lot of money or rolling the dice. And I don't think they're going to do that. The only thing I can say, maybe Ken Hughes now just a little bit, when he's on the phone with another general manager, he doesn't have to, I don't want to use the term desperate, but maybe he doesn't have to give up that extra piece that that they're asking for. Maybe he's like, hey, man, I'm content with what I have. I'm content to ride this out to the trade deadline or to New Year's, whatever, and reassess at that point. I don't know. But I think it'd be foolish if the Canadians are still not looking to upgrade at that position. I think they need to be better down the middle of the ice. It doesn't have to be today. It doesn't have to be tomorrow, but I think it's something that they should still address.
Fair enough. George?
So, Dave, Simon, they say in Hollywood, you can never be too rich and you can never be too skinny.
Okay.
And in the National Hockey League, you can never have too much depth down the middle. So the idea of acquiring another center that pushes back Kapanen or Dach to the bottom six is a stroke of genius if they can get it done. If you can get a Ryan O'Reilly, if you can get, a Steven Stamkos with some salary retained, or if you hit the lottery and get the dream guy, you get Sidney Crosby here, all of a sudden, the Montreal Canadiens become a team to be reckoned with suddenly, because the depth that you will achieve by getting a top six, center up there, you become one of the deeper teams in the NHL. Let's face it, the Canadiens right now are looking like a good playoff team. And if you can get another center, a legitimate guy that wins draws, can take up some defensive matchups, because we forget how much Nick Suzuki, of that 20 minutes that he plays per game, goes up against the top guys on the other team, guys. So if you can get a guy that's going to, maybe take a little bit of the load off Suzuki and contribute offensively, the Montreal Canadiens suddenly become a difficult team to play against, a very difficult team to play against. So I think it is an absolute need. Can they wait till the trade deadline? Absolutely. They should wait till the trade deadline. Or if something frees up that they can get on the cheap, absolutely. But right now, I think the Montreal Canadiens plan, I get the feeling is they're going to let it play out till March. They're going to see, is a number 87 in Pittsburgh available? If he's not, they're going to go to plan B, whoever that may be. And it might not be a name we've heard yet. It might not be Stamkos. It might not be Kadri. It might not be Ryan O'Reilly. There could be somebody that kind of starts to, making themselves available, and we'll see. There's chatter even about now Jordan Kyrou, and he's getting benched and stuff, so you can get some depth on the wing as well too. It doesn't cost you too much. Why not? Let's see what happens. But obviously, I would say, yeah, absolutely, it's a need, and they got to address it at some point.
All right, fair enough. And that leads me to my next question. I'm at something also doing very well. We talked about the leading all in rookies in goals. How about the guy who's leading all rookies in points, Ivan Demidov? Look, hard to criticize his game either, but maybe you could criticize a little bit his use in games, because his minutes, if you look at the last 5 games, like 13 minutes, 10 minutes, 12 minutes. He did get up there to 16 minutes on one of those games, but it's very much limited around that 12, 13-minute range. And my thoughts on it, I mean, as a lot of the fan base, is kind of just let him play, let him loose. I want to see how it goes out. But as you know, you got to be level-headed. And with this team having the success that it's having, I just want to know what your guys' thoughts on Ivan Demidov's and ice time and what you guys think about it.
So back in the 60s here in Quebec, okay, you wouldn't criticize the church. The Catholic Church was everywhere. It was in schools, and that's been replaced by Martin St. Louis in 2026. So rarely do we criticize Martin St. Louis.
But yes, okay.
Yeah, but you see the parallel. You see the parallel I'm trying to do.
I wonder where you were going with it, but I like how it wrapped up.
So, I mean, I always bring it back at some point. So if you look at Martin St. Louis right now, I mean, things are going pretty well for Martin St. Louis, whether it's playing Dobesh or, the fact that we keep plugging in Alex Newhook and he seems to be producing, or the fact that Kapanen is given the ability to run with the 2C and he seems to be doing okay, or you move him down to the 3C and he still does well. Everything he seems to do, like King Midas used to do, seems to turn to gold. That being said, I get protecting Ivan Demidov and protecting him by picking the matchups, giving him the offensive zone draws instead of the defensive zone draws, so that he's already in the offensive zone. And as a winger, he can already be in a position to produce scoring chances. But I get the feeling it's not enough. It seems to me this is the type of player that you just got to let him go, throw him out there, and, until he shows you that he can't handle the moment. I don't think he's the type of player you need to bring along. You know what I mean? I mean, I remember last year I watched the game San Jose versus Anaheim a few weeks back, and I was really impressed with Celebrini and Leo Carlsson. I think they are the 2 best young players in the NHL right now, 1 and 2. And you can rank them the way you want, because right now, Carlsson is number 1 in scoring and Celebrini looks like he's all world. So, and I know that they took a completely different approach, the Sharks and the Ducks. So Celebrini played virtually every type of situation, and Leo Carlsson was managed. He would sit out a couple of games, then he would play. So they took 2 different paths to development. Is there a right or a wrong? There isn't a right and a wrong. But my eye test, and that's what I like to go back to, what are you seeing? I don't think any moment's too big for Ivan Demidov. I don't think any matchup is too big for Ivan Demidov. So far, everything we've seen from Ivan Demidov is coming out roses, my friend. So why stick to 13? I think it's fair to criticize Martin St. Louis and to say he's not playing enough. And I think it's time to play him a little bit more. And if it means Slavkovsky has a few more minutes, well, then it'll be Slavkovsky. That's just what it'll be. But I think logically, when you look at this, Demidov's got to be playing a bit more. And I don't know what the number is. I don't know if it's 16, 17, but 10 and 12 don't make any sense to me, gentlemen. I don't think you're protecting the player. I don't think you're making him better doing this. I think until he shows you he can't handle it, you give him the minutes.
To give Marty St. Louis credit, he did say earlier this week that he has to do a better job of managing players' minutes. So maybe there is some recognition internally.
I hope so. I hope so, because you can't justify playing this kid 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. It really is, and if anything, he's going to be your thoroughbred. He's going to be the horse, man. You can tell this guy, he has the thoroughbred genes. He's got the thoroughbred ticket on him. Let the thoroughbred run. Let him run. Let him go.
All right. Simon?
No. You just spent like 7 minutes there praising about the coaching staff and what they're doing right and this and that. And then at the end, you flip it on us like you're Pat McAfee on NFL or NCAA, whatever game day show is there on ESPN. You just flip the script on us. Look, I think there's going to come a point that we will no longer trust this front office or this coach, because we've all been watching sports for a combined 150 years maybe. And at some point, every coach runs his course and every general manager. I'm nowhere near there. I'm going to go with this group, and I look at the development that they've had with Slav, check. You look at the development they've had with Cole Caulfield, check. They've turned Nick Suzuki into is he going to make Team Canada? Now there'll be a revolt if Nick Suzuki doesn't make Team Canada. They made him into an outstanding 200-foot hockey player. The kid's 19. George, I'm not sure if you're aware of this. It's 2025 this year and 2026 next year.
Thank you for that, yes.
He's going to be here till 2035. He's got one more year left on his entry-level contract, and then they're going to slam him with a 7-year, $80 million contract. So I'm not overly concerned about game number 12 of his career where his minutes are too low. I don't want to be this guy. I don't. I want to sit on the couch and be an armchair quarterback. I want to yell at my TV. I want to do all these things. And I know it sounds silly when we see it on Twitter where people talk about it. In Marty, I trust. I do on this one. And I'll just flip it to the football side. Two coaches that I wanted the Chicago Bears to get, Ben Johnson and Mike Vrabel, because in both those men, I trusted. And they're both turning out to be good football coaches. Mike Vrabel's already been a good head football coach in the National Football League. So I love what I've seen from Marty St. Louis. I love what they've done. I love the Ken Hughes offseason. I love the Bolduc. I love the Dobson move. I love all these things. I even like the Patrick Laine deal when it came down. So in a perfect world, you're not squeezing this kid for 17, 18 minutes. He's not. He's playing around 12. So you're about 5 minutes off. Can you squeeze 2-3 minutes out of him? Sure. But why? You have a decade's worth of hockey coming, and the kids, it looks like he's going to lead rookies in scoring. They're trending in the right direction. They're winning games. The schedule's about to flip on them. It's about to get uglier when it comes to the level of competition, and it's going to be pretty much playing every second night from now until Christmas. And then at that point, when Marty needs a goal, then when he needs a goal, he'll probably get him out there in proper situations and get that minute total up to 16 and 17. I just don't think it has to be done now that you're winning. Dave, you started off the segment by saying, what are we looking to be critical? There's nothing to be. Yeah, I think we are, because you're not happy because the guy's playing 12 when he should be playing 15. That's a minute a period. It's a shift. It's okay. They're going to get there. And I'll say this, and I'm not the one that has the global eye or I'm going to do a deep dive, but I've played hockey enough in my life to know that sometimes I'm out there because my line mates are better than me, and my coach wants our line mates out there more than he wants Tsalikis out there. And what I mean by that is, like, some games you see Veleno play more. It's not really about Veleno and Demidov. It's Marty wants Evans and Anderson out there. And that's why he puts Veleno out there with them. You're up by a goal, maybe you're up by 2 goals, and the Devils game, you want to close it out, a team that plays with a lot of pace and a lot of skill. It's not. There's no doubt in anybody's mind, specifically Martin St. Louis' mind and Ken Hughes, who is going to be better at playing ice hockey at the pro level between Ivan Demidov and Joe Veleno. That's not a question. But as a collective, sometimes you're dragged out there because of the guys you're playing with. So you look at the Devils game, you look at other games where they've had the lead, and the coach is going to lean on Evans, he's going to lean on Anderson, and he's going to lean on Veleno. And he's certainly not going to put Evans out there with Anderson and slide Demidov out there just for Demidov to get a few more minutes and get the minute total up to 14, 15. So I don't think it's just an individual thing. I think it's more collective. And as I think we go forward, you're going to see the minutes go up. I just don't see the need when the team is sitting at 9-3, 9-4, whatever that number is. They're at the top of the Atlantic Division. That, hey, let's squeeze 2 more minutes out of this guy just for the sake of making ourselves happy, because 12 doesn't look good and 14 looks a lot better. The time will come. Kid's going to might go down as one of the highest goal scorers or point scorers in Canadians' history. It doesn't have to happen in November, George, of 2025.
So thank you for the year correction. Yes, it is 2025 till December 31st, no less. That being said, though, I'm going to disagree with one of the statements you said. And look, it's real simple. Veleno has 0 goals.
Yeah.
But again, Jake Evans has 1 goal. When you need a goal, you got to have Demidov out there. And
they haven't been in a scenario, George, where they've needed a goal.
Yeah, they have. They've been down 3-0 in games. They've been down.
They're down 3-0 in the first period.
But still, you got to play Demidov. You got to, and that's where you cut. That's where you're going to cut Jake Evans.
They're down 3-1 going into the third, and you look at the third period minutes played. And
I don't think it's a third period thing, though.
Then I agree with you. But they were down early to Philadelphia. They were down for a minute.
I understand, Simon, but it's not a third period thing. I think it's a game thing. I think you have to set goals, and you have to give the thoroughbred time. You have to give him ice time.
He's 19, and
it doesn't matter how old he is. Crosby played 21 minutes in his rookie year.
Not Sidney Crosby.
No, he's not Sidney Crosby, but he's a really good hockey player, offensive hockey player, that the Canadians will benefit of him playing more. 10 minutes, to me, is not enough. Not enough for this type of player. This is a once every 25 years for the Montreal Canadiens, or maybe in the last 40 years, player. You got to give him the time, and you can't look at it he's going to be here for the next 12 years. Maybe he is. Yeah, absolutely. But I think you want this guy to reach his full potential. Playing 10 minutes a game, you're not going to get to your potential as quickly.
You're having that conversation 12 or 13 games in. Like, if you were talking to me around Valentine's Day, then I'd say, yeah, I'd jump aboard. But like 13 games into a season when the team is absolutely rolling on
but it's trending that way. That's what we're saying. It's trending
that way, George.
Let's see. Let's see. Look.
Like, he's going to be playing with Nick Suzuki in a year from now, because they're not going to be the only team in hockey history not to play their 2 most skilled players together. This will not happen. It's not going to happen. The only time 2 great players don't play together if they're both centers, and even the Oilers have figured out that when they need a goal, they put Draisaitl on McDavid. I'm going to tell you, George, he's 11 months, maybe 12 months from playing on a line with Nick Suzuki and playing mad minutes. So, listen, you want to get him out there for 15 minutes, go right ahead. But I think it's one of these things where Habs fans just can't enjoy having good things. So, okay, I
want more, Simon. I want
more. Winning percentage is good. On top of I found something. Here we go. I found it.
I don't want to see Joe Veleno playing more than Ivan Demidov.
It's not that.
I don't want to see that. There's no world where that's okay. No world.
You just started watching hockey 5 months ago. You're looking at it from the perspective as a child. You know that it's a collective, and it's not that Veleno gets more minutes. It's that Evans and Anderson.
I get that, but at the end of the day, I can't have my thoroughbred superstar stud playing 10 minutes and Joe Veleno playing 12. I don't care what scenario. As a fan of hockey, I just don't want that. I bought a ticket. I want to see Ivan Demidov out there. I don't want to see Joe Veleno out there. No offense, Joe Veleno, very nice guy. Played for the Lions. I like you. But sorry.
Ironically, that game where they did go down 3-0 is one of his games where he played the most minutes. I believe he was out around 16 minutes or 16 minutes that game.
Something he played. Yeah.
There is logic to what you guys are saying. I agree with both your points. To be honest, you have a show to do. You have to nitpick somewhere, and this is where we chose to nitpick. But realistically, I mean, I get Simon's point, and I like your take on the fact that we were 11 months away from seeing him with Suzuki, because that's something that I desperately want to see, and it seems that people.
I want to see it now, Dave. I want to see
George,
it now.
I understand your impatience. It's been a while since we've seen a player.
Always makes for a good coach to be 9-3 and then throw a wrench into your top line. Makes tons of sense. Absolutely.
I want to see it now, Dave. Right now.
Fair enough, guys. Thank you all for listening. You guys tell us, Demidov, enough minutes. I don't know. Who knows? Let us know in the comment section. Follow us at the Starters 690 and tune in Saturdays and Sunday on TSN 690 to Simon and the crew 10 to noon, on TSN 690. Guys, can I get a Grey Cup pick just very quickly?
Owls at the buzzer.
At the buzzer again.
Why not?
Love it. Why not?
I'm going to say Alouettes 31-28, 2025 CFL Grey Cup champions.
There you go.
I had to throw that
All right. Thanks, boys.
All right, boys. Ciao.
Ciao.